Hi, good day everybody. I hope you all are good and you all have been keeping safe. I'm back and I am back with somewhat of the relaunch of QuMa's book review corner, but with a twist. All I have ever wanted to do is promote reading, but because of circumstances I couldn't do it in the format I was trying to before, but now I'm going to share it with you. So I'm going to cover the first three books that I told you all about. But this time is not exactly what I read. It's things that I took away from it and I think could be applicable to people, and people need to wake up on these matters. So I have three principles in this first episode. The other two episodes will have three principles as well. So three books, three principles each, and that's how they'll be until I continue to read more books, and that's how it will continue. So I wrote it down in somewhat of my journal and I'm going to share it with you, right? So, as I was saying previously, you see, I would have never remembered if I didn't open the book. As I was saying before, I wanted to promote reading, and it had this phrase by Margaret Fuller that says, "Today a reader, tomorrow a leader," which essentially means that if you want to be a leader, you have to read. Because you could think you could know, you could think you hear, you could think you saw this, but if you don't read and educate yourself, is really no way you could, because you'll have nothing to substantiate any claims or anything like that you claim to be making. You'll just be like, ooh, let me just do this. It wouldn't really have any base. So, even the one thing that I wanted to start this whole promotion and normalizing reading and stuff like that was because I see a lot on my Facebook, even on my WhatsApp, Instagram, not so much, but because Instagram will give you a chance to really see what on your mind is in a story. A lot of people will ask for good series to watch, and I'll be like, I would admit I do watch TV, but I view TV as a commitment. If I'm watching something, I'll commit to it. So if I watch something like Lucifer, I'll be like, okay, I'm looking out for seasons of Lucifer. I'll watch something like Bridgerton, I'll look out for seasons of Bridgerton and stuff. So I've never watched Grey's Anatomy. Probably watched it when I was younger when I seen it on TV shows, but there's a commitment with a lot of seasons and a lot of episodes, and I don't think I could make that commitment right now. So I don't. So nothing's wrong with TV. All I'm saying is that people tend to go behind the easy things to just put on a TV and so I wanted to promote reading. So up to a little while back on my WhatsApp, somebody was asking again what's a good series to watch. I was like, can I recommend you a book? And they was like, I'm not really a book person, I was like, okay, I could. So but I still asked for the name of the book, and I was like, well, you could read Capitalist Nigger, I say by Dr. Chika Onieni. And he was like, okay, I don't really, but I'll keep it in mind. I was like, nice, that's still a start, that's good. So I got fed up, exhausted, tired of seeing these new series here, new series there. Don't watch this or don't watch that, but reading could be nice. So on to the meat of the matter. So firstly, I learned of the discord amongst black people as opposed to what many other ethnicities and races have been able to achieve. In this manner, in an economical stance, this is known as the spiderweb doctrine, which was penned by Dr. Chika Onieni in his book Capitalist Nigger. The spiderweb doctrine is basically an economical structure which groups of people use, especially if they're not from the country of origin, to start, maintain, and uplift themselves. Usually, when they have money or when they earn money, they will keep it and it stays within their community or within their people. Even in his book, he referenced to the Indians who will live together, pool the resources together, and they'll buy from Indian groceries. They would take out policies from Indian insurance companies, and even if they have to take like a taxi or a limo or something, they'll do it from Indian-owned businesses. And they would thrive. They're like really making headway with statistics. They even move on to motels and smaller hotels and stuff, and they're doing pretty good things. But unfortunately, black people would usually tend to see each other as competition, as they'll see each other as competition or like as competitors and not as partners. So over time, especially with the increase in unity, with the pushing of Black Lives Matter, black people are striving. They are. This book is at least over 10 years old. I know that much. And they are striving towards unity. Even with this thing, Diddy recently, so this tying to world events that happening right now. Right now, Diddy was launching a platform for black people to push black businesses, push black agenda, push so they could have access to consumers and feedback and stuff like that, an entire platform to build wealth in the black community. And that's commendable. And I think if anyone follows my channel knows that I noticed how much he tries to do, because if you watch his stuff, sometimes usually just black owned. So, you know, it black people are coming to come. So, you know, it is. So this, look, I learned that, and it helped tie into what everything is happening now. For so long we have downplayed our race, black people, and viewing each other as competition and not as in unison. Now, you know, people still trying to strive and stuff like that. Even before they launched this, I was doing my research, and they actually had a platform where black people, it is another platform but a website. The one is more like a platform. The one I saw was We Buy Black. And I still get notifications on my phone, because when I Google it and I saw it, I put up notifications and stuff like that to see if I ever need something, especially if it falls within their purview, especially like authentic black stuff, clothing and things like that, African prints and stuff. I would get it from there. So yeah, that was the first principle I learned. Secondly, I learned that it's possible for black girls that may seem to have the best features to also have issues. I don't know if you remember, in my first set of episodes I would have spoken about being darker, being the black sheep and stuff like that, and feeling left out because I didn't have a presumably good hair and presumably good complexion and all this sort of stuff. I was just like the outcast in my family, outcast in school. But strange enough, since posting that video and talking about it, I had a slight bit of backlash, not much, but then I had people coming to me who seemed to be light and whatever. And a guy that I had met recently through a friend, he was like, well, then I used to get teased for being light skin. And I was like, what? I was like, that's not possible. You have what people has bleached their skin for, why? And I was like, yeah, they used to call me a white man. And I was like, wow. So that's what this was about. This drew more light to it. And this is an I saw this in the book Naked. Black women, they're all about their skin, hair, hips and lips. And this girl would have had at this point in time what is the ideal skin color, the ideal hair texture, and the ideal body type. But yet she had her struggles, and she in the end she still ended up cutting off her perfectly curly hair. And she realized how much she underestimated it, because it was to the point that where she didn't really want to go outside. She would be wrapping her hair, and she was like, something that she was like, oh, I could live without this, I'm fine without this. And then she would realize, like, oh my gosh, it's just a big of a deal as people make it to be for me as well. So although people may look like it seems like the perfect, nobody is perfect, and everyone is struggling with something. So that perfect hair texture or skin or body type not going to necessarily make you feel better. So if you think it is going to feel better, because these people that seem to have presumably what's ideal and looked up to and glamorized. If glamorized is a word. They have issues too. She was light skinned, she had a nice petite body, and she had the curly hair. And I think she even got backlash from her mother because her mother used to hold her hair as a standard. She had this perfectly curly hair. It wasn't as nappy as her counterparts or her schoolmates or her friends. She had the perfect hair. But she struggled too with it. She eventually, she grew it back and stuff. And in the process, she used to tie it down before, letting it out and letting it grow out and stuff, and for it not to hold on to it like that. Because I'll be honest, because even people watch me after I had the blog, and it's like, but you're not even that dark though. That I am dark. I don't go out in the sun as much because I work now. I don't go to school. Because in school I would have been going to school. I would be playing football, so I'll be out in the sun a lot. So I would have been I would have been darker in school than I was. Coming out when I was graduating, I was a little better. I looked around this complexion when I was graduating because I wasn't doing so much around graduation. But yeah, and what people think is a nice hair type. Like how my hair and stuff looks now, this is gel. If I try to attain that with grease, just so it's not going to behave this well. So yeah, as people may think, oh, look at here looking like it's slicked down, look, she looking like she red or whatever. No. So that ideal, or that ideal lifestyle, that ideal look, that ideal thing, it's not going to make it better. Now, thirdly, the next title I will look at will tie into the principles of the first two. So both in Capitalist Nigger and Naked. In Confessions of a Video Vixen, Karen Stephans illustrates how the sexualization of the physical attributes of the black woman, as seen just as in Naked, it can be used or abused by anyone, black people or people of other races. This abuse is easier. It is much, much easier in the absence of the proper application of the spiderweb doctrine in Capitalist Nigger. She had to compete with other former models and video vixens, to sell the only resource that she had, which was essentially her body. And this basically showed me that this is basically the commoditization of the black female body. Essentially, that's it. And plainly, what that means is that sex sells. Sex sells. We have countless examples of that, especially in today's media and society. Sex sells. And we all know how hypersexualized the female black body is, because even in Naked they spoke about it, and within the next 2 episodes I'll shed a little bit more light on it as well, where I'm talking about how it applied to me and stuff like that. So it's not really a book review, but is things that the book added to my life, clarity and understanding and things of that sort. So yeah, and that this book is at least 10 years old as well. It is more than a decade old, and even a decade after the book, still applicable. Now I'll be honest, this book, you see, if you love TV and you're into drama and excitement and action or things like, they make it sip tea, you would enjoy this book, because it's basically talking about sheeny celebrity world, and so many names got called up. But yeah, if you're into these kind of things, you could start with this book. Because it was a lot of action, a lot of moments like okay. So yeah. So you could get started with that book. I'll be honest, I read that book within a day. It wasn't that hard for me to focus, as opposed to Capitalist Nigger, where some things he would say, I would Google it, like things he would talk about, and I'll have to Google it, like, really, that is the case? And I had to Google it and come back, or find the definition of something and come back, or do something and come back, because it wasn't as clear cut. And I don't want people to feel discouraged because of that. It may seem so, it may seem hard, like you see these big books is what I don't like to read. Trust me, it took me some time too. And but I still did it. I'll put it down, you'll take a break, you won't be behind it. Things you don't understand, write it down. This was my book since then, it's still my book now. And I do my stuff in it. And it is enlightening. Whether you think you could do something about it or not from what you learn, that's up to you. But essentially, that is it. And that is it, people. Look at that. Nice, short, simple, and sweet. So this is QuMa's book corner review with a twist. I really am just ultimately promoting reading and normalizing reading and what I took away from it and what it helped me with. So there's 2 more episodes with these same 3 books. And yeah, I hope it could be inspiring for you all to go out. You don't have to be these books, but I'm just telling you what may go on in my life, what may trigger me, what may draw me to a book. And these were the first 3 books, and I'm sharing it with you. So until then, you all stay safe, and I will see you on the next episode when we discuss my 3 further principles on these books. So until then, you guys, bye.